A rising news anchor. A missed alarm. A car door left open, and a scream no one saw coming. It's been nearly 30 years, and still, no trace, no answers, just a name whispered across America. Jodi Huisentruit. 4:30 a.m. Mason City, Iowa. A red Mazda Miata sits oddly quiet in the parking lot of the Key Apartments. Scattered beside it, a pair of high heels, a broken car key, and a hairdryer, its cord curled like a question mark on the pavement. Drag marks in the gravel trail off into the darkness. The sun hadn't risen yet, but whatever happened to 27-year-old morning anchor Jodi Huisentruit had already left a stain that time couldn't scrub clean. She was minutes away from being live on air, reading the news. Instead, the news would become her. By all accounts, Jodi was the embodiment of Midwest charm and ambition. She was a rising star, anchoring the morning news at KIMT-TV in Mason City. With her golden hair, broad smile, and effervescent energy, she lit up the screen and the community. Originally from Long Prairie, Minnesota, she was the pride of her small town, an honor roll student, a tennis champion, a broadcasting hopeful with dreams of making it big. She wasn't just successful, she was adored. Her friends called her the girl next door with a big city hustle. She played golf on weekends, smiled through telethons, and lit up every room she walked into. She lived alone in apartment 12B, a cozy, modest unit in a quiet complex, and started her day before the world woke up, prepping scripts and fixing her makeup under flickering bathroom lights. To the outside world, Jodi was living a dream life, independent, respected, and on the brink of bigger things. But dreams end quietly, sometimes just before dawn. There were whispers, just fragments, at first. Jodi had started mentioning odd things to friends, like the feeling of being watched, a car following her home, or a man who made her uncomfortable but whom she didn't want to accuse without proof. She brushed it off. So did her friends. After all, she was beautiful in the public eye, and friendly to everyone. Maybe people were just too interested. Still, Jodi changed some habits. She started carrying pepper spray. She asked for an escort to her car after late events. One night, she called a friend and said she was scared but couldn't explain why. Then came a man named John Vances, 22 years older, who was often by her side. He adored her, talked about her glowingly, and told people she was like a daughter. But others said he seemed possessive, and Jodi reportedly told friends he liked her more than she liked him. And then she overslept. June 27, 1995. A rare breach in her otherwise flawless routine. She was supposed to be at work by 4 a.m. When producer Amy Kunz called to check in, Jodi answered groggily. "I overslept. I'll be right there," she said. Those were her last known words. When police arrived at her apartment hours later, the scene was surreal. Her car was still there, suggesting she never made it out of the lot. But her shoes, always worn, were off her feet. Her belongings, neatly packed for the day, were scattered. A key was bent, as though twisted in resistance. Drag marks led from the driver's side door into the dark. A partial palm print was found on the car, but it led nowhere. Neighbors said they heard a woman scream around 4:30 a.m., but no one looked. No one helped. There were no security cameras. No witnesses. Just a white van some residents claimed to have seen earlier that morning, parked and waiting. It vanished like Jodi did. Inside her apartment, there were no signs of a struggle. No broken glass. No blood. Nothing. It was as if she had been swallowed whole by the morning mist. Jodi's disappearance was a bombshell. National news outlets flooded Mason City. America's Most Wanted 2020 and Dateline covered the case. Psychics reached out. Locals wept. And the newsroom she once lit up fell into a silence that echoed through television screens across the Midwest. Thousands of tips came in, none panned out. Theories multiplied like shadows. A stalker finally acted. A jealous friend snapped. A stranger waited in the dark. Vancis took a polygraph and was never charged. Serial rapist Tony Jackson, who lived nearby, was investigated. No evidence tied him to Jodi. In 2020, the FBI executed a search warrant on Vancis's former residence in Arizona. Still nothing. No ransom, no body, no trace. In 2003, a group of journalists launched FindJodi.com, desperate to keep her story alive. They posted timelines, interviewed locals, and tracked every rumor. They even placed billboards near the abduction site. Someone knows something. But Jodi's voice never returned. And the news anchor who told other people's stories became the center of a mystery no one could close. Three decades later, Jodi Huisentruit is still missing. Her name lingers in true crime forums, in the soft sobs of family interviews, and in the persistent breath of the Mason City wind. Her apartment has long been rented to others. Her newsroom has been remodeled. But her case haunts the place like an echo stuck in replay. Jodi's disappearance changed how women in media think about safety. It changed how the country saw small-town vulnerability. And it changed how we define closure, because sometimes there is none. Someone, somewhere, still carries the secret. And until it's spoken out loud, Jodi remains America's lost voice before sunrise.
Like and subscribe.